in everything that I've done, I've had to learn to love myself. I've had to work through anxiety, depression, addiction, weight loss, but that was losing the weight and getting sober was the easy part of this. The hard part is maintaining this through all of it. And that's really what I work to do in the community every day. I run around, I DoorDash on purpose. It makes life harder on me because of the financial part of it. But I'm able to talk to people every day, all day long. I do when I freestyle for you, you'll understand that I do that all day, just listening to people, talking to people. They share things, and that's where some of the questions, I have a couple questions for you. I just wanted to ask about positivity.
Sure. Inspiring, to say the least. So good for you for getting your life in order and looking at the optimistic, bright side of things and spreading that.
It's the key part of all this. I tell people all the time, I'm sober because of all of you. Because I talk to people, like the other day at Meyer, there was a gentleman that gave me an ear when I really needed it. I was struggling with my mental health, and he took time to talk to me. So what I did, there's a gentleman that comes to the positivity booth and donates rare coins. So I had posted a post talking about those coins, and the person that chatted with me said, "Oh, I wish I was there." So I took those coins and a banknote that was donated to me, and I found him later and gave it to him.
Wow.
And I don't look at how much they are because that's not why it was given to me. It was given to me to spread smiles.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do that more. And that's what I'm working to do, is connect with the city and do those things, because I probably promote 20 businesses in this town every day. And I've been doing it for over a year because I love the community I live in. And there's people here that believe in me. I want to be sitting with you and have this opportunity.
That's fantastic.
But I'm not here to talk about me. I want to talk about
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a background, just
Sure.
so you didn't know who I am.
No, that's helpful.
I want to know what prompted you to run for mayor?
I was an alderman between 2012 and 2018, and I ran for alderman again last year at this time. And once I became an alderman again, I saw some things going on in the city, didn't really like, thought things could be better. And I, like you, love Sheboygan. I want to see things better. I'm looking at the bright side of things, and I'm an optimist. So I think that I could provide a different perspective and a different solution.
It's actually one of the biggest things that come up is with your optimism is people asking, number one, something to do, but also something to help people be happy, to keep that happiness and connect the community. Because I've noticed a lot. I grew up down south in a small community where if I got in trouble on the other side of town, I was already crying before I got home because my family already knew. And that's why I love Sheboygan so much. And that's, are there things you're thinking of, like when you say optimistic, are you thinking of what do you mean to do in the community, like you're working with mental health? Is that a part of it, or?
Well, a big thing, especially with the downtown businesses, is the homeless issue.
Yes.
That's mental health. You mentioned that. So that's one of the causes, or one of the symptoms of, being homeless is mental health component, the drug abuse component, the housing component, the affordable housing issue. So there's all of that. But what I would like to do is get a task force assembled. I view it as a multi-jurisdictional problem. So it's not just the city of Sheboygan. It resides in the city of Sheboygan because the city of Sheboygan has all the assets. So it's got the Salvation Army, Pay It Forward, the homeless, the warming center. It's got all of those resources. And so communities like Elkhart Lake, Plymouth, Kohler drop their homeless off here in Sheboygan, and then the city is left to deal with them. Well, it's not so great for the downtown businesses when they've got that issue to deal with, and people defecating or just loitering in front of their business, and so it's not a real positive thing for the community. Do I think we can eliminate homelessness? No, but we can significantly reduce it and treat the people with compassion and a way to help them get back on their feet, similar to your story.
Yeah. And that's I agree with that. And where I say the mental health, I think that it starts up there, because a lot of the kids running around in the families that are struggling, addiction, like you said, mental health plays a part in that, and setting up a task force to help people get on their feet. And like you said, all the other cities, almost like we're setting an example what to do because they're
Right.
setting. So I like that initiative. I like that you were going.
Yeah. So, and then I would get Aurora behavioral and mental health component involved with it. I would get the churches, the religious organizations, the nonprofits, and get everybody involved with it and have the task force and see, here's the issue, here's what we're seeing, here's how it's affecting businesses. What can we do to mitigate it or reduce it and help these people get back on their feet, get them into stable homes, and help them with their income, education, training, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's mental health, whatever their needs are. I mean, it's a variety of needs. So it's not just one. If it was one thing, it would be an easy solution and it wouldn't be a problem. But it's not. It's a complex problem.
Helping them. Yeah. Well, I'm at 45, making my first budget because I'm new in recovery. A lot of people don't. I'm 4 years in recovery, but I've never made budgets. I've never paid bills on time. I've never had that structure. So having programs put in there to help with that, and like you said, it's multiple things. You can teach somebody to be happy, but if they don't know how to budget
Right.
or do those structured things, because I struggle with it now. I've never been a business owner. I've never been a nonprofit person that works in the community. So seeing programs, that's absolutely, I absolutely agree with that. The programs and starting at the ground level, meeting people where they're at to help. I like that. Actually, I can relate.
Good.
Yeah. So with building programs like that and forming a task force, what would be the immediate, like, what is your main focus? I mean, you have the homelessness, the addiction, mental health, different things, or would it all?
It would be an encompassing thing. So initially what you need to do is you need to get the county health and human services, you get the county administrator, you've got to get the sheriff's department, the Sheboygan Police Department, Aurora Mental and Behavioral Health. You've got to get all the players involved and say, hey, can we work together and create a task force? And each one of these different entities is a subject matter expert in their own field, and they can provide different solutions together that we can make an impact and reduce the homelessness. So I think, first of all, we've got to get the buy-in from the larger, county community instead of just the city of Sheboygan. And then I think we can have, a real positive impact.
And like I said, I'm new to this too, so listening, I'm actually learning things listening to, but I'm very passionate about it, and I love the connecting of the dots, because that's really what it is, because you have Rogers, you have Aurora, you have all of these places, but seem almost as if working separately with the same goal.
Right.
Yes, and bringing them together. No, I like that. I don't know all the components, like you said, and you do, you're running from here, all these things.
I've got ideas. I'm not a subject matter expert. I don't have all the answers either. So that's why I want to get everybody together, and I think more minds together, and we can come up with a solution. And again, I don't have any utopia where we eliminate homelessness. I think there's always going to be. I think Sheboygan, despite some of the weather, is a relatively easier place to be homeless.
It is safe. But it's almost kind of puts you in the middle.
Right.
Like, it's a beautiful place, but we gotta.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess I never thought about it that way. You know what I mean? Where, yes, we love that people want to come here, but how do we find the medium with that? I never thought about that, actually. Yeah. Like, you create an amazing city, and then, now we also have this that comes with it, and how do we form programs? Wow. I'm learning stuff. I should bring my notebook in here and start talking. But no, I wanted to get a feel of who you are and what you're doing and stuff, because I love meeting other positivity warriors and people that are doing things in the community, because you're a leader. And stepping up to even, I think, in my mind, to run for something like that just is inspiring to me. You know what I mean? Because that you have to do that. Because it takes a lot, just even to make videos, like to do positivity videos. But I couldn't imagine the stress that would come with the entire city and keeping your head cool. Wow. It's just that, and I appreciate you meeting with me. I don't know how much time you had or not, but
I got plenty of time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Cool. But man, I don't even know where to go, because my mind's kind of spinning with that. So are there any programs that like the city can put in there for the youth? I'm kind of switching gears here, because I see a lot of groups of kids running around too. 13, 14 years old. My nephew was one of them. He was getting in trouble all the time. And a lot of the things what I hear from them is, we don't have anything to do. And a lot of the parents, as you said, are struggling. I was one of them. I separated from my kids because of it until I got sober. So do you have any ideas like for activities for the youth or programs, or is that?
Well, I think as far as the city goes, somebody brought up to me that we do something like the senior center for, the Uptown Social.
Now, I want to ask you.
Something that we do something like that for youth, that there is a gathering place and a physical building. And I don't know if it would be recreation area, or if you'd have basketball courts and, pickleball, whatever kids want to do. I don't know if skateboarding or, anything like that, where kids could congregate and get together and have a place where they could meet and go and do something. Certainly after school hours and in the summer, there are church groups and the Camp Waikota, the YMCA. There are things like that. One of the things that I did for about 22 years was I was a volunteer for the Gus Macker basketball tournament. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Gus Macker.
But I'm good at basketball, but I know.
So there was every first weekend in August, there was like almost 400 some teams that would come from all over the country to Sheboygan, and it was a kid family friendly thing. And my kids did it, and I volunteered for, like I said, 22 years and helped run it, and it was a fantastic event. And my kids look forward to it every year. It was their best weekend of the whole summer. And
I got to go one. It was awesome. So, I agree with you. I got to go to one at the very end. They don't do it anymore.
No, they don't do it anymore. I mean, because
cool.
the person that I worked with ran the whole thing. And it was three of us that basically I took care of all the adult courts. There was Todd Decker took care of all the youth courts, and Mike Lang and organized, got all the volunteers, ran the thing, and he was in charge of the whole thing. Well, he retired from it, and so then it Lakeland took it over for a year, and they didn't do it very well. And, there was a lot involved with it to put on something of that scale. And it after the people that were doing it year after year after year stopped doing it, that, it died a slow death. But I would like to get something like that back, because I think it was just a tremendous family-friendly, fun event, and it was great.
I actually used to work at Pier 17 when it was open, and every time that was going on, it was huge.
Yeah.
I had to go once; I wasn't working.
Okay.
But no, and absolutely, and it gave all people from all over to come here and the youth to play sports, because I played football all the way when I was younger, and it kept me out of trouble and into school. But I really think that's a wonderful idea. But organizing it, like you said, something of that scale. It's not out of the question, but it definitely, especially you have kids in the community too. That's awesome too.
Right.
They get to go to it. So when's the Gus Mackers again? Yeah. No, very cool. And with sports like that, and I know are there programs for kids like when their families can't afford to get the equipment, whether for it's basketball or football or?
Yeah, I think there are. I know certainly for like Camp Waikota and things like that, for different camps, there are scholarships and things like that for kids they're able to apply and get those types of things. I know that I'm familiar with the North High basketball program, and I was ran the booster club, or the checkbook for the boys booster club, for years under Coach Desatel. And every once in a while there was a student in need for basketball shoes or practice gear or something like that. The booster club would help fund that and do things for people. But so there are those things out there. Sheboygan is a very, very generous community. It's a very philanthropic community. There are a lot of family-owned businesses in town, and they give back a tremendous amount to the community. And even those that aren't right in Sheboygan proper, like the Kohler Company, Kohler Company does a fantastic job, whether it's scholastically or with the arts, for scholarships and things for youth. I mean, it's when I first moved here 30 plus years ago, it was shocking, the generosity within the community. And then as my kids got into high school, we would go to the senior night for when they give out all the scholarships, the local scholarships. And it wasn't just the the academic or the kids in need. There was a golf scholarship for my son won a golf scholarship.
Oh, wow.
There was different families donating, for different kids. There was, scholarships for kids that wanted to go into the trades versus college. There was all sorts of stuff, but it was millions of dollars that were given out that night. It was unbelievable. So, and that continues to go through, and they have that every year. North, South, Lutheran High, there are those scholarship opportunities for high school kids to, whether they want to further their education, in college or go to a trade school or do something else. There's opportunities like that. So it is a very, very giving and philanthropic community, and it's really outstanding that it's that way.
Yeah, no, that's one of the biggest draws to Sheboygan. I love it. It reminds me of home. Back when I grew up as a kid. So that's amazing. And with the schools, so maybe all of those programs are there, getting out, letting people know that they're there. I've started to see. So these programs are here.
Right.
Now it's just getting focus on them and get them out to the youth. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Get them involved, like cool, to the families and stuff. Very cool. And I think you almost covered all the stuff I had. I didn't even have to go into my questions.
Okay.
And I really appreciate it. And there'll be I guarantee you they're going to put some smiles on faces from this too.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I want to make sure I covered it. Yeah. The last one was how can we collaborate to connect with local businesses and nonprofits to build a stronger support system for mental health, ensuring people have access to resources without fear. And that's one thing I did miss. I notice a lot of, because I work with Lieutenant Blodgett from the Sheriff's Department. I do a podcast with him.
Okay.
Yeah, and
very neat.
Yeah, he actually nominated me for the community award. I went to the Sheriff's banquet last year.
Okay.
I never did anything like that either, but he's the one that's really gave me a little push to do. He's one of my mentors actually.
Okay.
And helps me with a lot of what I do. But it's just I lost my train of thought. Him connecting with me has really shown others like that it's possible, with the city and this. And I'm a felon. I've been in trouble. I've been to prison and all these things. But him taking a chance and meeting with me, gave me a challenge coin. You meeting with me now, I can't explain to you how much it actually means to me to be sitting here with you. You probably can feel my energy when I talk. I've never done this stuff, and it's an honor, and I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, you have a great story to tell. I'm running for mayor. If I get elected mayor, or if I don't, I'm still on the council. I think you could have a positive impact, and do something within the city, with city hall or local government. Maybe, you're working with the sheriff's department. Maybe it's the police department. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's, coming and speaking before the council, telling them a little bit about the positivity and a spotlight on you and what you're doing and, things like that. I mean, there's avenues and things that we can do to help you and to bring your message forward too. So
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I would like to help you do that and help you get your word out there. And I mean, I
want to help people
because I think what you're doing is fantastic and it's awesome.
It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I've never done this stuff before. Up until 45 years old, I've always been this person, but I didn't know it. Like I'm a public speaker, I've spoken at galas and stuff recently and I was on CIT training for young law enforcement at Acuity to better interact with people with mental health and addiction issues. Never did anything like that. I was terrified actually. But I had a couple officers come up to me at Meyer and thank me and tell me, and I'll start crying if I start talking about that, but it just means a lot, to sit here and the fact that you see me and are thanking me, that you're willing to help. It just amazes me and I appreciate it more than you know. So I've talked about this freestyle a lot and people have probably told you. I can get to going and I'm going to tell this story, all right? So I'm rapping, we're sitting, talking about the city. Positivity through music, no, I'm not kidding. Top off your water, I'm sipping a tea. You know something? The city of Sheboygan, it's here for you and me. But really, it's everybody. We're all in this together. I got a second chance. Life Sheboygan helped me do it better. You meeting with me means so much you don't know. I'm going to continue this lit me up and I'm going to spread hope because we're all in this together and you're giving me a chance and I can go out and help other people enjoy life's dance. This positivity freestyle, some don't take it serious, but some just look at it and wonder. They ask questions because they're curious. I practice all the time. My heart is in every one. And thank you so much for meeting me. I hope you had some fun.
I had a blast, and that was awesome.
But yeah, no, I love doing all of this.
So-
And anything I can do to help this community and into the world.
Well, likewise with me. I mean, anything I can do to help you, let me know.
Let's do it.
So, yeah.